suck, that's fine. If you're great, that's fine. But I just need to know what I get from you. And you can't go from 27 one night to nothing. It's a killer.
Little consistency. I mean, the thing about this NBA Finals, if a lot of people comparing the Warriors to Indiana or to OKC, that they're similarly constructed. And I get that, but you know what? The Warriors could have taken that game one, that game one staggering, 20-point choke job. And because they have Kerr, because they have Steph, because they have Draymond, they could have circled the wagons with Andre Iguodala, and they could have withstood that. But this OKC team, I don't think is going to be able to withstand that game one loss.
No, I don't disagree with you, because the thing is that when you've done it, and you hear Draymond say it, you hear Steph say it, it's like anything in life. I've done it. It's okay. I can come back. They haven't done it before. So the reason why teams that are so good, that have won championships, are so hard to put away is like, okay, we've been down 3-1. We've been in a hole before. We know what it takes. I think that Oklahoma City could be a dynasty, but the thing is you got to win that first one to get that championship swag. Like, for example, I hate playing Denver in the playoffs. They've won a championship. Then a lot of their players have, and they might not be the greatest team, but they've got kind of a swag, and they know what it takes. Jamal Murray seems to step up. Jokic does. They've got that swag. If you gave Oklahoma City with all that talent and you added a championship swag, they're going to be good for a lot of years. But right now, as you pointed out, I think that they came out last game thinking, okay, we got this thing, after they righted the ship in game 2. And I think they thought they were going to come out here tonight. But I don't know if you saw earlier, they hadn't had an NBA Finals game for 25 years there. All these old Pacers
fired up.
Exactly. Reggie Miller's sitting courtside, like Travis Best, Dale Davis, like all these old Pacers are hanging. It's a Midwest Indiana basketball is everything there. The fans are going bonkers. Like, I don't think Oklahoma City, this young team, thought that they were going to have this much to deal with. And they thought like Indiana's just going to just lay down for this thing. We're not just going to give you a championship. Oklahoma City's the better team. But like you said, they're not going to just hand it to them. And if they go up 3-1, this thing's over, man. You're not coming back 3-1. It doesn't happen.
No, they're just too young. They're too young.
Yeah.
And Chet acted like, he was going to somehow wind up with a ring on his finger, just like accidentally. And like, bro, it ain't happening that way. It's not going to happen that way. You're going to have to really, really earn it if you're going to get it done. And I just think that he's, if you look at this team, they're all babies. The coach is 40.
Right.
These guys are all in their early 20s. So it's hard to get it done. For every Joe Montana and Tom Brady who's icy, there's a lot of guys that have to learn how to make it.
Well, I think it takes that. And that's the one thing. And I remember Dan Marino, he lost that Super Bowl to the 49ers, and he said this publicly. I thought I was going to go back there every single year. You just don't know. And so, like Oklahoma City, that's a really good team, and I think they could be on the verge of dynasty, but you kind of have to get that championship to give you that swag. And if Indiana were to beat them, and let's say that Durant, like the big rumor is Durant's going to the Spurs. All right, Oklahoma City's a great team. I'm not saying they're not. But you put Victor with Durant, with Fox, with Stephon Castle, Oklahoma City's they might not go back to the finals next year. That might be the Spurs. And then all of a sudden, Sam Presti's got to panic, and he trades some young guys for a dumb trade, and he's not patient, and all of a sudden Oklahoma City never wins that title. I mean, think about that team they had. They had Durant, they had Harden, they had Westbrook, they had Serge Ibaka. I mean, they had Steven Adams. That team should have won a championship. They didn't.
Yeah.
So nothing's guaranteed, and they're a smaller market team. So when these guys start getting paid, are they going to be able to keep everybody? I mean, it's just, you had that chance to win a championship, and here's Indiana going, ain't going to get handed to you, man.
No, and it's not automatic. I think there's a lot of people that feel like the Lions in the NFL are going to get that ring, but you know what? I don't know if it's going to happen.
That's a great call.
If I had to bet that whether it's going to happen or not happen, I'm betting that it is not going to happen.
Well, think about what happened with the Lions. You hit it right on the head here. So they get close against the Niners, had that first half. Niners come back against them. They don't get to that Super Bowl. Everybody thought they were going to get there this year. And then in this offseason, they lose their offensive coordinator, their defensive coordinator. We've seen it here in San Francisco. That's not easy to replace.
They had a marginal draft,
right?
And
then you start picking at your players who are going to get paid, and then it's a hard process.
Very hard to climb to the top of the mountain. Very hard.
By the way,
even the 49ers. Look at the 49ers.
Yeah, 5-1. Yaz just made a great catch on a long drive by Freeman. 5-1, thanks to the Casey Schmidt Grand Slam, and it's 101-97 Indiana with 3:50 left in that one. So we got a bunch going on.
Yeah, we got a bunch going on. I'm watching this Pacers game because I got money on the Pacers. Flip over to the Giants. But I gotta see.
Money takes precedence over all. Taking money over all.
I like Casey Schmidt. I love my cash.
Exactly. It's bottom of the pint, and it's a huge game between the Dodgers and the Giants. But if Krueg has money in the finals, that's what we're talking about.
I like Logan Webb. I love greenbacks.
Yes. Exactly.
All right. Fuji Simeon has a question here. He says, "Who are your Giants All-Stars for the All-Star game?"
Good question.
I would say, Wilmer Flores has just been awesome. I don't know, but I don't know if he's been awesome enough, but he's been the engine so much for the year. I would say I'd probably give a vote for him, a vote for Randy Rodriguez.
Be tough to say no Rodriguez his ERA went from 0.64 to 0.80, so I didn't check this morning, but he was number one among relievers before the ninth inning yesterday. But between Halliburton down the stretch is money. I would say Logan Webb's probably up there. Robbie Ray's got to get consideration.
I might be behind. Unless
you'll like this. Like
one-hander. Yeah,
that was nice. Rodriguez.
103-99. Pacers up with about 3 minutes to play. Fans all on their feet.
Not like that one. But I think they've got three pitchers. Do they have a position player? Like I said, Flores has been good, but there's so much competition. First base, DH. Who else would be there? Ramos made it last year, and I think he's played even better this year. To be honest with you.
Yeah, Ramos looks great.
He's been great. But, I think, if Rodriguez settles back in, and then Logan Webb's been there before, so I can't believe that somebody wouldn't say Logan Webb would be an all-star, at least two pitchers off that staff, right? If not three. Robbie Ray,
non-closers sometimes get
that's a good
down.
point.
Non-closers sometimes.
You don't have the save numbers.
It's 103-102. Pacers up 1 with 2:20 to play. And Shea just walked and didn't get called and just hit a jumper. So now OKC's up by 1.
He took 4 steps on that baseline jumper. So 4. Bad. Either you call a foul on Neesmith, who bumped him.
1, 2,
4,
3,
4 steps.
At least 4.
They don't call it about traveling. Steve Kerr be going bonkers. Because he got bumped and it took him off his spot, and he took 4 steps and then took a baseline jumper wide open. It's like, well, no kidding.
Dude, he took 4 steps.
And
either call the foul or call the walk. It can't be just nothing.
Right. It took
so
4
what
steps.
would they have, if he had missed the shot, would they have called
probably.
I don't know. That's so weak. The one thing I can't stand NBA officiating.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah, they can't stand NBA officiating. One of the interesting stories in the NFL that I'm following is this Shamar Stewart story.
Oh, my God. This thing is crazy.
And to me, if I'm the Niners, man, if you said to me, what's the Niners' biggest issue? Biggest questions, my biggest fears for the 49ers on June 13th, I would say it's the health of Christian McCaffrey, even though he's healthy now. Mm-hmm. And I would say that would be number one concern. My number 2 concern would still be not the run D, not the separation by wide receivers, not special teams. I would say my number, outside of Christian being hurt, I would say the number 1 thing is pass rush. Still pass rush. Can the Niners put together pass rush? And if I could get Shamar Stewart, I would absolutely get Shamar Stewart. Now, I understand Trey Hendrickson makes $35 million a year, so you can't afford Trey Hendrickson. But Shamar Stewart's on his rookie deal. And if he's bad-mouthing the Bengals
You saw that interview the other day, right? I don't know how he can go back in there. I give the kid a ton of credit because he was very honest. First of all, on the Bengals, I don't make him available to the media. But second of all, if people saw this interview, I mean, he was basically just saying that essentially the Bengals are shit. I mean, the kid's just killing the Bengals.
In the Bengals locker room.
In the locker room. And then his agent, I'm sure, said, get out of there because you're going to get, it's going to get ugly. But for those who are not in the know, there's just some language in, God dang, Willie Adames almost hit another home run. 5-1 end of 4. He smoked that pitch. And it's getting late in Chavez Ravine, so that ball died. But
OKC's got a 1-point lead in the finals over Indiana, though Lou Dort just bricked a free throw, like the worst I think I've ever seen an NBA player brick a free throw. I mean, I think the backboard could be broken. But so they're up 2. It's 105-103. OKC on top of Indiana by 2.
Oh, airball. But Shamar Stewart, 17th overall pick, Texas A&M, needs to be in there. Tons of talent, not a lot of production. And he's sitting there just bashing them and in the locker room. And look, it's simple language, but if it doesn't get worked out, like you said, he can sit out the whole year and go back into the draft next year, and the Bengals get nothing. It's not like baseball where, okay, you took a guy and you get a comp pick because he didn't sign with you. You get nothing. So I would imagine that the leverage is with the player, but we're talking about Mike Brown and the Bengals. So like you said, I'm sure there's teams calling him. I mean, would you have to give up a 1 though? Like next year's 1? And that's
I don't think so. I think you could probably give up 2 2s or, maybe a couple 2s and a player or something like that. I mean, I don't know that they have great leverage right now, but either way, to me, Shamar Stewart, I would be interested in him. Why? Because he could play inside on passing downs.
He's a hybrid guy. He can play in or out. He's a
hybrid.
And so now you're looking at your defensive line, and he's far different than what you have inside, which is you just got 2 pluggers who hopefully can keep guards, interior offensive linemen off of your linebackers, especially a small guy like Nick Martin who's fast. You want to keep him off those guys. The way it's going to go right now, and you and I have talked about this, Bryce Huff's going to be on the outside on 3rd down. I think they're going to move Mikael Williams to the inside for like their turbo package. But, look, when the 49ers are great, it's along the defensive line. So, yeah, if I could give up 2 2s, Krug, I'd do that in a heartbeat. Like, you want 2 2s, and I don't know, who do you want? What player do you want?
Robert Beal. You want Robert Beal and 2 2s? There you go.
Yeah, whatever.
I would do it because Shamar Stewart doesn't cost you a lot of money.
No.
And he can rush inside. He can rush outside.
Yeah.
You would have 2 big edge-setting ends, and the Niners want to invest in their defensive line. To me, I think he's a really, really good player. I know a lot of people think because he didn't sack the quarterback at A&M very much that he's not good, but you didn't watch A&M football. He's really good. They lined him up, like as a 4-eye at sometimes. Sometimes they lined him up as a 3 technique inside. I mean, they moved him around. Guy was 290 pounds.
We got 107-103 with about 35 seconds. Indiana's got to score on this possession. They're down 4.
Seriously, I cannot believe this. This is just an unbelievable gag.
Miles Turner just bricked a 3.
Unbelievable gag.
Yeah, Indiana had them. And they would have had a 3-1 lead in the series.
But not only that, they're not going to win, they're not going to cover.
You might get the cover here. It's 4. You might get the cover.
But here. I need a bucket. I need 1 bucket.
Right. What do you have? 6? Is that what you have?
I have 6.
Yeah, we got to get.
I have 6. Can I get 1 bucket, please?
Yeah. They just.
If I get the push, I'm gonna puke.
All of a sudden, they just. Wait, you got Matherin in the line for 2.
Seriously,
you're gonna get the cover. Now, whether they win, I don't know, but you're gonna get the cover.
They haven't made a shot for like 5 minutes.
By the way, the baseball game 5-1 Giants thanks to a Casey Schmidt granny. 5-1 in the bottom of the 4th. Logan Webb in the game against Will Smith. So that's what we got. We're keeping up to date.
He bricks the free throw.
Are you kidding?
He bricked the free throw. Come on. Jesus.
It's one thing, Giants Dodgers, but when you're watching someone live,
come on, money, man.
That's different.
Come on.
Money's a different ball game, man.
Come on.
Throwing money down. It's
Matherin. Make a free throw. It's called a free throw.
That's an Arizona guy. Tex Tolbert. Like, didn't you guys work on free throws in Tucson? What the hell's wrong with you?
He missed them both.
Come on, man.
And they fouled Chet. So now they're going to go up 109, 103. That's 6.
All I had to do was hit the 2, and you're pretty much golden at that point.
2 free throws, and I'm golden.
That's it. It's the 2 free throws. You're going to cover that thing, man.
There's no way.
Teoscar Hernandez at the plate. Wait, Logan Webb, by the way, is dealing.
What
today.
A gag by Indiana! Oh my God, what a gag! And how good are these? How good are these odds makers, by the way?
They're ridiculous.
I mean,
this happens every damn game.
It's good. Pacers. It's OKC by 6. They were down by 15 in the third quarter. They were down by 12.
They would have been up 3-1. Webb is dealing.
At this point, I don't even care about the win. Just get the cover.
Exactly, dude. When you're talking money, win Schmin. Let's go, man. You got to get the cover.
I don't even think I'm going to get the cover. They're going to go with some wild shot.
Hell, like you said, even if he hits one of those free throws, man.
One of those free throws, and I'm probably golden. He misses both.
Oh, my God. Time flies. You remember this? I know you do. When Matt Cain hit the long drives off of home plate. That was June 13th, 2012. I remember that.
I was there.
You were there at that?
Yeah, I was there that day.
That's crazy. That seems like yesterday.
Sabian let him hit drives from home plate into the McCovey Cove because they had a couple pro golfers in town.
That was amazing.
And he went out, and his stuff was so nasty that night.
Oh, the Giants get out of it with a double play. Go to the top of the 5th. All right.
More importantly, back to the basketball game.
This is actually great. This is great theater.
Come on, man.
So we got 107, 103, 23 seconds left. Krug needs the cover.
I got Pacers getting the 6. They're down right now 4. But Caruso's inbounding the ball. A 2, and we're tied. What happened?
They called a
foul?
Oh, you know what? Look. You're gonna hate this.
Carlisle's pissed.
No, because Matherin held Shea Gilgeous, so it's two free throws in the ball.
No, it isn't.
It is on a foul on an inbound.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
It's 2 in the ball.
That's the game. That's it right there.
You know that's a ticky-tack call. You don't make that call at that point.
Oh my God, that's unbelievable. That's the cover.
It's 1 in the ball. Sorry, it's 1 in the ball. So it's now a 5-point lead.
5-point
lead.
They got to.
They're on a 9-0 run. OKC's on a 9-0.
Oh my God. And even though Indiana could drive down and get a layup, they won't.
You could be all right. You could clear.
Probably shoot some 3.
They got to stop him here. Oh, they got a tip. Oh, Matherin's got it. Oh, that's a foul. Okay, can Matherin hit free throws for you?
He just missed the last 2. It's Matherin again.
Matherin to the line for 2.
You're a little bit ahead of me.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, Matherin here, take it. Oh, it was a steal.
Yeah, you're like this. But he's got to hit the free throws for you.
Oh, my God. Jalen Williams hit the ground hard.
You got to hit the free throws for you. So you got the tip.
Matherin misses 4 free throws.
You should text Tom. You should call Tom live on the air and ask him if they ever practice free throws in Tucson.
If he makes the 2, it's 108, 105.
Oh, my God. He's the worst free throw shooter in history.
Don't even tell me. I'm behind you. Oh, my God.
Dude, he's Shaq at the line right now. He's so bad.
What?
I'm telling you, I wouldn't even be mad at you. I wouldn't even be mad at you.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
This guy is seriously killing you. Okay, finally got one.
Oh God.
Dude, that guy is killing you. Okay, so it's 4 and you got 6. It should be 3. Hell, he should have made the other one. It should be 1. It should be a 1-point game. I'd take that guy out.
He makes the last one?
Yeah.
But it was ugly.
I mean, really brutal.
Squeezing it like a grape.
By the way, does Rick Carlisle have the worst shaved head look of all time? He looks terrible. Like some people can pull off the shaved head. He looks terrible. At least go tanning or something or put some stuff in your head. Look, guy looks terrible.
I'll never comment on another man's head for fear of the future.
But a lot of guys can pull off the shaved head. Like Robert Saleh. Pull that Robert Saleh cut you out of. Robert Saleh. I can't even imagine Robert Saleh with hair. Like Robert Saleh looks amazing.
It's like Kelly Savalas or something.
Yeah, he looks great. Tan, in shape. Rick Carlisle? The angry Jim Carrey? He looks terrible.
So now he got another 1 free throw. Why is he getting 1 free throw? It's a 5-point game.
Oh,
God, they get 5. Oh my God.
They almost had the steal there. 5-point game. This is amazing for you.
This is just ridiculous. And OKC's got the ball. And they're going to foul him.
Spread. They got to foul
Siakam.
him.
Oh, no, Siakam.
He almost got it. By the way, Giants up 5-1. If you tuned into bottom of the pint, 5-1. Giants lead. Casey Schmidt with a granny. Dominic Smith at the plate against Yamamoto. Top of 5. Runner on first.
I stupidly bet NBA ball. So now I'm sitting here.
I'm feeling good about you, even though if I was you, I would go punch Ben Matherin right in the face because you would have easily covered this. He missed 3 free throws in like the last 30 seconds. You'd easily have
filed Gilgeous Alexander, so he's going to make 2. That's going to make it 7. They're up 7.
Makes free throws. If Ben Matherin makes free throws,
they're up 7.
It's a 2-point game right now. Like, it's ridiculous.
If he makes both these free throws, they're covering. Unbelievable.
Yeah, maybe
7 seconds left. I'm going to have one shot.
No, this is what bad beats are all about.
And nobody's going to care.
No, they're good. Of course, he made it.
The end. Oh, you know he's going to make it.
Ramos got thrown out at the plate.
So now we're pushing at 110, 104. But there's 7 seconds left. Will they even bother with the timeout?
Yeah.
Will they just go with the layup?
Oh, they didn't. I don't want to ruin it for you.
Jinx it.
I cannot believe this.
Son of a...
I cannot believe this.
Unbelievable! That is unbelievable.
A 7-point win. What was the end? I mean, they went on like a 15-16-2 to finish the game.
That was unbelievable.
Indiana had them. They had them.
What a gag job by Indiana.
Oh my God, they just lost the finals. Because you're going back to OKC now. OKC wins that game. They're going to win the title. Indiana had them.
I had Pacers by 6. They were up 13. I was up 19.
I was spending your money.
I was up 19 in the 4th.
Brutal.
And lost by 1 point.
Guy says no.
God damn.
Somebody says no ribeyes for Larry this weekend. Yeah, you guys are gonna have like ribeyes on the grill. Now you guys are having burgers.
Son of a
Pacers.
That is just maddening, man.
You did it right on the
That is maddening.
Vegas just is like, well, we have a 6-point spread. It finishes at 7, and Indiana had them. I mean, that was ridiculous.
I hope Indiana loses now.
I know. That's ridiculous.
Oh, here we go. Wilmer Flores, deep drive. Oh, no. Thought it was a deep drive.
That was brutal, dude. I feel really bad for you there.
Dude, that's the second worst beat I've had on the air.
That was terrible.
I don't know if you ever heard, because you were on probably opposite me.
Mm-hmm.
But I was doing a show with Ratty. First round of the NCAA tournament, 2012. Michigan is playing Texas in the first round.
Oh, dude, I do remember this.
And I forget what it was, but I was basically up 4, and there was no time left, hardly at all. And the guy for Texas dribbles all the way down and lays it in. And Gary's like this. He's like, I'm like, oh, I go, oh no, we're up 4. And there's 5 seconds left. He's like, you're home. You're home. You're gonna cover easy.
Gary's outstanding.
You're gonna cover. I go, Gary, shut up, Gary. I'm like, I go, he's got the ball. He's going in the front court. He's gonna drive the lane. Nobody's gonna stop this guy. He lays it in. I'm like, oh my God. And then Gary goes, what happened? Did you not cover? And the door in the studio. There's doors, and then there's radio studio doors.
Right. They're made out of metal.
Radio studio doors. I don't know what they're made of, but they're
thick.
It's like a vault.
Yeah.
It's a gigantic door, and it has like a vacuum seal. So like if you open it, it goes, and if you close it, it's,
exactly.
You know what I mean? It's like, but it's heavy. I mean, if you get your hand caught in the studio door, your hand is not. Your hand is no longer on your arm.
No kidding.
So I slammed that door so hard, and you can hear it through the microphones. Through the microphones, you can hear this boom. He's like, and Gary goes, "Whoa, I've never heard anybody slam the door that hard in here." I'm like, and then people started calling up, "Gary, you jinxed it."
Totally.
Gary,
you say you got it. When you say it's like home, like going,
you're home. You got it.
Not until it's
over. You've covered. You got it.
Your Gary's tremendous.
I think Kate Scott might have ripped him. Even it was good. It was good stuff.
Oh, that's so good. That's so good. Yeah, that was pretty bad. Because, like you said, going into they had a 7-point lead going into the fourth, and then with like 2-3 minutes left, it's a really close game. So you're thinking to yourself, well, first of all, Indiana looks like they're going to win, but second of all, you're at least going to cover easy.
Unbelievable. Fuji Simeon says, "Sorry, Larry. What would you say to Matherin after this?
Missed 3 free throws in the final 30 seconds.
You know what I would say? I would say, hey, Benedict. Guess what? I coached 5th grade basketball in like the 90s, and I had a 5th grader get fouled in the backcourt of a tie game in overtime, and with his freaking freshman and high school girlfriend sitting in the stands, he stepped to the free throw line and made both. Both. 5th grade. He was a 5th grader who got fouled in the backcourt with the city championship on the line, went to the free throw line and made both. And you missed 3 out of 4.
I think I probably had 6 beers tonight. I could go to the free throw line and, do better than he did. He went 1 for 4 in the last 30 seconds. Come on, man.
What's funny? When I was playing freshman basketball at St. Ignatius, we had this coach that was just such a stickler for form. And my brother is like 6'5", right? And he's 5 years older. So where do you think I release the ball? When I shoot the ball, I don't shoot it. I don't shoot it down here. I don't shoot it right here. I shoot it like here. I shoot the ball up here because that's the only way I could shoot it over my brother, because he would block my shot like all the time. So I got used to shooting the ball high. And they told me when I went to basketball camp, hey, that's good. Most kids have to shoot it from their hip. The fact that you have strong enough hands and wrists to shoot it up there at 11, 12, that's good. I remember freshman year basketball, Matt Barmore, the basketball coach.
I love that you're calling him out.
Unbelievable. This guy yelled at me all season for my basketball free throw shooting form.
Right.
And when we got to the end of the year banquet, he's like, I couldn't believe this, but Krueger was 12 for 12 from the free throw line this year. I yelled at him all season about his free throws. He hit 12 free throws. He shot 12, he made 12. Like, thank you.
He's trying to change your form.
Yeah, he's trying to change my form the entire season. I wouldn't go for it. I stepped to the line, I made them all. And he's like, you know what? I guess if you make them, you can shoot them any way you want to shoot them.
Yeah, they're,
Mike, thank you.
By the way, Yamamoto out. Mike Yastrzemski on first and second, 2 out in the 5th. So Yaz here could blow this whole thing open.
Oh, he just grounded out. So I'm behind you in the NBA game, but I'm ahead of you in the
Giants.
How's that working out?
I don't know.
How could that be? You were literally.
You know what's funny? I switched it over on the TV, so I was watching it. So the TV I'm ahead, and on the iPad I'm behind. Screw this whole thing up.
I probably would say to Matherin, hey, Matherin, you suck.
Yeah.
Fuji Simeon, boo SI basketball, Larry, but respect to Bob Drucker, the late Bob Drucker, the late great Bob Drucker, who's a fantastic guy. Anthony Catania is in the house from Sharp Corners Sports Cards and Collectibles, who we were shouting out earlier. Check them out, 205 Cypress Avenue in Pacific Grove, California.
Check him out. I got a good card collection.
Anthony Catania, 831-521-5264, and he's a great follow on Instagram at Sharp Corners 831 on the gram, as the kids like to say. He says, barbecuing some Italian sausage here on vacation, watching the show. Good. Love the show. Give them both a like and follow. Thank you, Anthony.
Good man. That. Dude, that sounds good.
Dude, I know. Seriously,
barbecue of the sausage
I did that last week, Johnny. I went to my son's working at Lenardi's. Right?
Oh, I know where that in Walnut Creek, right up north.
Yeah. So you know how Lenardi's has they've got tons of different sausages.
Oh yeah.
Great spot. So I go there and I'm like, you know what? I go, let me get 2 bratwurst.
Oh, I love those.
Let me get 2 of the Italian spicy. Let me get 2 of the Italian mild. Let me get 2 of the Polishes. Let me get 2 of the
baseball right there.
The sausage links. Let me get 2 of the chicken apples. I mean, I basically got
crazy.
Yeah, we had like I've got kids. I mean, seriously, I made hamburgers.
You got boys,
dude. I made hamburgers the other night, Johnny. And I was going to this. I told you I was going to that graduation party. Right. So I had my 2 teenagers home, my 19-year-old and my 15-year-old. I made 14 cheeseburgers.
Come on.
14 cheeseburgers. I went to the Safeway. I got that mega meat, that mega pack.
Right.
That's just ridiculous. It's like a big gigantic rectangle. I made 14 monster burgers, right? Got them cooked perfect with just a little pink in the middle, cheeseburger, sharp cheddar on the top. I come back. I go, eat as many as you want, guys. Come back. I go I go upstairs. I see my 19-year-old. I go, hey, man, you guys really went to town, man.
Some damage.
I go, there's only 6 burgers left. You guys ate 8 burgers. And he goes, I go, how many did you have? He goes, I had 5.
What?
5. My 19-year-old had 5 hamburgers. And he's lean, dude. He's lean. He's got like a washboard stomach. He had 5 hamburgers with buns and like fixins and like lettuce and tomato and onions and yes,
5 burgers.
He ate 5 fully dressed burgers.
That's not like mini White Castles. That's not like McDonald's.
No, these are
cheeseburgers.
These were
right. These are burgers.
These were more than half pounders.
Dude, I wish, man. If I had a wish, it might be
the guy ate 2.5 pounds of chuck.
Seriously, that you could go back to 19 and just eat whatever you want, and you could still be lean and look good and all that kind of stuff. Because my metabolism when I was young, I was one of those guys who could eat whatever I wanted, and then you hit like 30 or 35, something like that, and then it's just everything stuck to your stomach, and it's like
I can have like a tuna salad now and put on 7 pounds.
Like it would be so amazing to be able to do that. Like, Dad, I just ate 5 burgers. And you know what? I'm going to wake up in the morning. I won't have gained an ounce. I mean, that's the best. You go to an ice cream joint. You go to wherever. You eat whatever you want.
Eat whatever you want. Eat like whenever you want. Whatever you want. As much as you want.
Seriously, that's like a superpower. Like, I tell you what, for the first 25 years of your life, you can eat whatever you want. After that, best of luck. But, like, you could just mow. Like, 19, you could, like you said, he mowed 5 burgers. Dude, if I mowed 5
burgers,
I'd be in bed for 5 days. Like, there would just be like, no way. I'd be pregnant. I mean, it'd just be like, that's what it would be like. Like,
I mean, I sometimes I'll do ribs. I'll get like 4 slabs of ribs. These kids will go through like 9 ribs each.
Your grocery bill has got to be ridiculous. I mean, 5 burgers, like you said, with like a big, homemade burger, all the fixins. Like that's, you eat one of those, you're like, that's good.
When my daughter's boyfriend, who's I have 3 boys, right? I have a 15-year-old, 19-year-old, and then I've got Kev. Kev's like 23.
Yeah.
I got a daughter who's 1 year older. When her boyfriend, who's also a huge dude, he's like probably 6'4", when he comes over, when I hear he's coming over, when I just get word that he's going to be in the neighborhood, I just head off to the market.
Damn.
I just go to the grocery store because I can't make enough, dude. I cannot make enough.
You did all those burgers, and then you were saying you went up to Lenardi's and you like you had a bunch of sausages too.
Well, no, that was the burger night. But another night, totally I did sausages, and it's like, as I said, I did like 15 different. I probably did like 7 or 8 different kinds of sausages. I probably did 2 or 3 of each.
Like that's baseball. Like, man.
By the way, we have people showing interest in being a sponsor of Bottom of the Pint.
Very nice.
So we may have a sponsor in the next couple of weeks.
High quality show. I mean, there's just no question.
We got this one. Fuji Simeon says, growing up, Larry, did you ever go to Seeker in the Richmond district in San Francisco? Amazing Polish deli, amazing sausage and horseradish. No, never went to Seeker. Oh, I wish I felt like I missed out on something.
Oh, it sounds good.
Yeah, there's a lot of places in the city that I do.
Oh, dude, Well, KMBR studios are right in North Beach. I mean, you walk, it's an uphill thing, so I'm not walking it. But I mean, you throw a stone, you could hit 10 amazing delis.
Well, I mean, one of my favorite deli in the city is, I like the one at on Sacramento, on California and Fillmore. It's called Calmart. It's called Molly Stone's. It's Molly Stone's Market.
I know you're at. Yep.
And they make just the most amazing sandwiches in there. That's a great spot. I'll tell you, burrito wise, Gordo in the city. I'll hit there. Gordo on Geary Street. But then there's the burrito spot that I love is in Oakland, in Montclair. The Taqueria in Montclair is absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.
Man.
If I ever driving through Montclair, sometimes if I got time, if it's middle of the day or whatever, I'll head over there and grab a burrito.
Now I'm getting hungry.
But I mean, food is so expensive these days. I mean, a burrito used to be like $5, $8. A burrito now is like $17.50.
Oh, dude! What was the cut? There was a during the pandemic.
Northern California, by the way,
right?
$17.50 for a burrito in Northern California.
After the pandemic, prices went up or whatever, and there was a couple of shops in San Francisco, and the news was doing a story on them, and they had to raise their prices on their burritos. And I remember they were talking. This was during the pandemic. And they were saying, right after it, and they were saying like, yeah, we had to raise our prices up to like $15. I'm like, $15? You get like a giant burrito, like you said, it's like $20. It's just like, this is a few years ago, like, oh my God, we had to raise it to 15. I remember I used to get them for like $7, $8, and now it's like,
well, it's like a movie, $7 or $8. Used now it's $15, $20.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm reading online about the Giants and the Diamondbacks maybe hooking up on a trade. Someone says if Arizona becomes sellers, first baseman Josh Naylor would be a great fit for the Giants. I'll go further than that. I think Pavin Smith would be a good get for the Giants. Another good line drive hitter, hits for a good average, good on base percentage. Giants don't need tons, as you can tell.
Arizona's done. Unless Arizona wants to really make it in my favor, losing Corbin Burns, they're done. Right, look, that's a nice young team. They've got some athletes. Corbin Carroll has bounced back and had a really nice year. They've got some pieces, but the Corbin Carroll thing, that's like the Giants losing Logan Webb. I mean, he's a big innings eater. He's a badass. He's a number one. If the Giants had that same thing happen, that's what it would do. Could you imagine how devastating that would be to the Giants to have that kind of a guy? It's not only Logan Webb as great as he is, but every time out, like yesterday, they used a ton of guys in the pen in Colorado. Colorado crushes your bullpen. Logan Webb comes out here tonight, and he's going to go 7 or 8 innings. I mean, he just saves your ass every time he pitches. So it's the same thing. Like, you lose Corbin Burns, that's a horse, man, and they're done. I mean, it's flat out. They spent $245 million on him, or 219 or whatever it was. They're not the Yankees. They're not the Dodgers. They can't turn around and go, okay, we'll just replace the guy. It's not possible. They're not going to be able to do that. They'll try to get an arm at the deadline, but this thing just went from, okay, Arizona's in this thing, to the division at least. It's Dodgers, Padres, Giants. There is no Arizona. They might as well be Colorado. They're not doing anything. That was a killer. That's a killer injury.
It's just not their year. I mean, they went to the World Series a couple of years ago. They invested in some really good pitching, but it just doesn't seem like it's their year. And now with the Corbin Burns injury, there's talk that they're going to be a seller in a couple weeks. So we'll see. I don't know if you've watched any. Have you watched any of the UFL?
A little bit, yeah. I'd like to see it just because who's going to come out of the league. To see if there's some guys that could be on some NFL teams. Yeah, I watch it.
Well, a guy that I always liked when he was in college is Bryce Perkins, quarterback for Virginia, and I know who you're talking about. He just got the MVP of the UFL. Premier player in the league, former Ram quarterback. He plays for the Michigan Panthers, UFL MVP for 2025. Played in 5 games for the Rams in the 2022 season.
I remember.
And didn't do much in the NFL, but played in 7 of the Panthers' 10 regular season matchups. Completed 109 of 158 for 1,342 yards, 9 touchdowns, 2 picks. 108.7 rating. Pretty athletic. He also ran for 269 yards and 5 touchdowns. Interesting.
I wish they'd make this a developmental league. Like a guy like Trey Lance should be playing in that league. I know he signed with the Chargers, ironically enough, which is the team that ended his career during those camps. But they need to strike some kind of a deal. Even if it's spring ball or whatever, put your young guys in there. Like Seattle's got Jalen Monroe. How's he going to get better? He's unless Sam Darnold falls on his face or something. But then they have Drew Lock. Like I'd love to see young quarterbacks play in a league like that, wouldn't you? Develop. See what they can do.
Yeah, there's no developmental league. There's no developmental ability. Trey Lance.
How does Trey Lance get better?
Yeah, how do you get better unless you've got a league
right there. You got a league, and there's a guy like Bryce Perkins who gets reps because he's not under contract, so he goes and plays in that league. I get it that they're playing in the spring and then they'd have to turn around and play in camp. But if I'm a young quarterback, if I'm Trey Lance, for example, and I can't get reps, I'd love to be able to go to that league and say, let me play some games and let me get some reps, because you and I have had this conversation a million times. Like, how does Trey Lance get better? How does Jalen Monroe, who just got drafted by Seattle, get better? How does, there's a number of, how does even a guy like Justin Fields, who the Jets think is going to be all that, he's a great runner. He still hasn't learned how to, the intricacies of the passing game in the NFL. It's the most important position in sports, it by far. And yet they have no way to develop quarterbacks. And the only way you can do it is like Brock Purdy did. You play 4 years at Iowa State, but those guys who come out early, Zach Wilson's an example. That whole draft that Trey was taken in, other than Trevor Lawrence, all those guys didn't play enough snaps, and they needed to play more.
By the way, I'm looking online. There's this fantasy football late round quarterbacks to draft. Tell me, of these three guys, who do you think's the best fantasy player this year? Drake May with the Patriots, Bryce Young with the Panthers, or Geno Smith with the Raiders?
Well, I don't think there's any doubt. I think Geno, although, knowing Pete Carroll there, and you know this as well as I do, Ashton Genty is going to get run into the ground, but they've got Brock Bowers. They've got, they're going to throw it enough, but Bryce Young, they did draft, the McMillan kid out of Arizona in the first round, so they're trying to get a little bit better. So, that's not going to be so bad. But, man, it's tough. I would think Geno Smith, he's established. He liked playing with Pete Carroll, but the Raiders are going to be 3 yards in a cloud of dust. So I would take him, but knowing that they're going to run the ball a lot.
I was thinking maybe Drake May. I love that Washington State receiver.
Kyle Williams.
They got. Yeah, he's pretty good.
He's underrated. So. I don't know why he didn't get taken before. He's got good size. He ran a 4.4 flat at the 40 at the combine. If anybody watched him play, he can really play. That would be my only concern with him, is I really like him, and they still have guys like Kendrick Bourne or whatever, but do they have enough weapons? Because you know what? The thing is, when you're talking fantasy, New England's going to be behind. They got a decent defense, but New England's going to be behind. So, he's going to get numbers.
One of the big questions, I think, with the 49ers, it's funny, we talked to CMC the other day. Logan Webb just struck out Ohtani on a pretty nasty pitch. A little backdoor breaking ball.
He's in the sixth inning, and he's only thrown 76 pitches. That's what I mean is, he gives your bullpen a break. They're up 5-1, and the Dodgers have just joined us, Casey Schmidt, with the grand slam tonight. But Logan Webb is like, okay, we know we can burn our bullpen in Colorado because Logan Webb's going to give us 7 at least. That was like you just said, that was a nasty pitch to Ohtani. He had no chance.
Logan Webb looks really good right now. Logan Webb's kind of proof that it's not about how hard you throw. Right. It's about what kind of movement you have on your pitches.
Plus, he's changed. He used to throw the changeup so much, and he's throwing the changeup less. He's throwing some different off-speed pitches more. He's really turned into a really good, not just a thrower. He's a really good pitcher.
One of the things I wanted to get to, I got a bunch of different thoughts I wanted to get to, things I had jotted down, but what do you make of what's going on with Golden State? You think Kuminga stays? You think Kuminga leaves? I saw a rumor the other day that had the Warriors trading Kuminga in a deal to the Bulls for Kobe White in the 12th pick in the draft. And I like Kuminga. I'm a Kuminga fan. But, Kobe White is much more of an established scorer. The 12th pick might be
I would have thought the Warriors would have to give up a pick. Kobe White is a lot better than Jonathan Kuminga.
Yeah, but see, the Bulls want to get bigger. The Bulls want to get bigger. They've got kind of a small backcourt, I think.
That kid.
So yeah, I mean, I think it might take Kuminga in something.
Yeah, I think his best basketball is in front of him. The thing is that what people I don't think are talking about when it comes to Kuminga is now that he's going to be restricted, it's going to come down to him. NBA players have more power than they've ever had in the history of any sport. And so they're going to go to Kuminga and say, okay, we want to sign you to this restricted deal, and then next year you can be unrestricted. Jonathan Kuminga doesn't want to get jerked around again. I mean, I don't know Jonathan Kuminga and haven't talked to him, but the fact that he was out of the rotation until Steph Curry got hurt and they needed some scoring, and we knew what he was going to do. It didn't surprise any of us. I think he doesn't want to get jerked around anymore. So Kuminga is not going to sign anything, and he'd rather go to Brooklyn, or he'd rather go anywhere but be here and get jerked around on the bench. So I think it's going to come down to, do the Warriors maybe want to keep him? Maybe. But the number one thing they have to do in the offseason is get size. I mean, look at the Western Conference, right? I mean, you look at the finals right now, Chet Holmgren and Hartenstein for Oklahoma City. Minnesota's got size. The only two teams that don't have size now are the Lakers and the Warriors. The older two teams, the Lakers trade Anthony Davis, they don't have any size. You can't compete in the Western Conference without size. Look at the team. San Antonio, maybe they get Kevin Durant. They're going to be up there. They're going to have a ton of size. Oklahoma City has size. Minnesota has size. Dallas is going to get Cooper Flagg, another 6'10" guy. They've got size with Derek Lively and the guys they have. I mean, every team in the Western Conference that you're going to compete with has size. Look at what Houston did to them from an offensive rebounding standpoint with Şengün and Steven Adams and the kind of size they threw at him. The Warriors have to get bigger. And the best asset they have to get bigger is Jonathan Kuminga. So you've got to use Kuminga in the offseason to get bigger, because if the Warriors can't get some size, a rim running center, a guy, you'd love to have a stretch big or something like that, but they've got to get some size. Draymond Green can't play the 5 anymore. Like he got burned out by the end of the playoffs. He can't play 5. So you've got to use Kuminga to get size. That's what I think.
Yeah, I mean, there's no question. They have to get bigger. The guy that I love size wise, I mean, there's some underrated players. I like the Stanford center, Maxime Reynaud, who's maybe a late first, maybe a second round pick. We're not really sure, but I think that's an exciting player. I kind of like the gigantic center for Alabama as well.
Mm-hmm.
Mark Sears is the point guard there, but they also have a center who's pretty good. I don't know. The Warriors only are armed with a second-round pick, but I do think that I would move Kuminga if I could get the right deal, because I just feel like, it just seems like Steph, it's pretty obvious Steph doesn't want to play with him.
Oh, yeah.
He's never said it.
Well,
but,
the numbers are the numbers.
I mean?
The numbers say that he doesn't play well with Jimmy. He's redundant there. He doesn't play well with Steph, doesn't play with Draymond. So, I mean, they're going to say nice things about him because they don't want to hurt their leverage. Like Mike Dunleavy at the end of the year said nice things about him, but what are you going to do? Rip the guy so you lose leverage on the kid? You're going to say nice things, but, look, I don't think it's going to be Miles Turner. That would be a nice fit. Why would you leave Indiana? He's a free agent at the end of the year.
I don't think it's going to be that good of a player. No, I think it's going to be more like I would say if you said, bet money on what Golden State adds, I could see like Larry Nance Jr., just like a big man who's coming off a year where he shot the 3 ball incredibly well, really high percentage 3-point shooter. I could see something like that.
See,
he's an underwhelming guy.
Yeah.
He's out there.
I could see a guy.
I can also Joe's Joe's a marketer too. There's a center from China in this draft named Hansen Yang, who's 7'2". He's 255-pound center from China, and the guy's really skilled. And he's projected to go like 36th in round 2, and the Warriors had the 41st pick. So I would not be, shocked if they went for a Hansen Yang.
What it's probably going to end up being, and I know that it's not going to make anybody really happy about it, but like Milwaukee's going to blow everything up. I expect Giannis to be gone. I could see Milwaukee wanting to get in on him, and you could see like a Bobby Portis, who I don't, like I said, is that a fair trade? No, Kuminga's much more skilled, but I could see a Bobby Portis, and then I could see him turning around and signing like a Brook Lopez, something like that. And I know that doesn't make everyone overly excited, but that's the kind of player they could be looking at, because I like Kuminga, but I think that Kuminga is going to kind of hold their hands to the fire and say, look, I'm not coming back. All right. So I'm not signing some restricted thing. I'm sure as hell not signing a lot unless you're going to give me a max deal, and the Warriors aren't going to do that. Like the Jordan Poole thing burned him. They're not going to do that kind of a thing. So he'll get a contract from a lesser team. Damn, I thought that was hit harder. 5-1, by the way, in the 7th for the Giants. They'll go out and they'll get size, and I think they'll get Jonathan Kuminga to do it. But I don't, like you said, Miles Turner would be nice. Naz Reid would be nice. I mean, there's some guys out there. They're not going to get those guys. It's going to be a combination. I think Brook Lopez, for example, is going to be a Warrior. And then could they get somebody else to augment that? Because they do. They need size to compete in the West. There's no question.
Lakers are supposedly going to go after Brook Lopez too.
Yeah,
I could see that. That could be the team that stands in front of
yeah, and look, if you're Brook Lopez, playing with Luka and just kind of hanging on a corner three while he penetrates and kicks it out to you, that's definitely something that would be appealing to him. And the other thing about Brook Lopez, that even though what is he, 38, 39 years old, is he's an underrated defender. So you get him and he can play a little bit of defense. They've got to fix it. But as far as Kuminga is concerned, he's not going to sign up for this again. He's and right now, because he's restricted, everything is not in the Warriors' hands. They've lost control of that situation. And so Kuminga, through his agent, I'm sure, is just going to go, dude, like you didn't have me in the rotation in the playoffs. Quentin Post was playing ahead of me. Sideshow Bob was playing ahead of me. Like, come on, man. I'm not coming back to that. I don't see Kuminga coming back to it.
Well, it's funny. Everybody saw Kuminga sitting next to Joe at the Valkyries game the day after the season ended. But, I think Joe is smart enough to know that whether they bring Kuminga back or not, it's pretty imperative that they have a good dialogue with him, because if they want to get real value for him,
good point.
The best route may be via a sign and trade, which is going to mandate that Kuminga kind of plays ball with the Warriors, and what I had heard, and I don't know if this is true because the NBA salary cap is kind of convoluted and not necessarily it's not something that you can just assume, or it's not like, oh, it just makes sense. It doesn't always make sense. One of the things that I'd read was that if the Warriors do a sign and trade for Kuminga, if they're going to stay underneath that second apron and not have this punitive cap situation, they're going to have to only take back half as much money as he is making on the contract. And that's why I said Kobe White, because I figured Kuminga could probably get, let's say, a $25 million contract, and that fits perfectly because Kobe White makes $12.5. So you could trade Kuminga, and you could sign him to a 3-year, $75 million contract, $25 million a year, and then you could trade him for Kobe White and a pick or something like that with another asset, and that works. So,
some of it is just dependent, and I don't know this. What does the rest of the league think of him? Because you and I both know this, and I don't know if anybody talks about it publicly. Jonathan Kuminga has been a pain in the ass. I mean, I'm not saying that the Warriors have treated him quite well. If I was Kuminga, I'd be pissed off. I mean, I just, played in the playoffs when Curry got hurt, and I can score 20 a game with my, eyes closed. I mean, he's a talented kid, but he hasn't always taken well to coaching. He's a little bit of a cocky guy. He hasn't played well with the stars on your team. He can be a problem. I mean, I don't know how public these things are, but he's not overly coachable. He's a little bit arrogant and cocky. So that's another reason. Kuminga's not a fit, I guess is what I'm saying. When John Lynch was on this morning with Pat McAfee, he was talking about what a 49er is, and he was talking about all these different things, and I was thinking about Fred Warner and Nick Bosa and George Kittle and Trent Williams and Christian McCaffrey and all these guys who fit. And then I thought to myself, Brandon Ayuk sure hasn't been a 49er lately. It's just you really stick out, I guess is what I'm saying, when you're not what the organization thinks you are. And you have Curry. And I'm not saying that Draymond's perfect on the court, but he's, he wants to win and he works hard and all those kind of things. Kuminga doesn't fit, and so they can say all the nice things they want about Jonathan Kuminga. But while Kuminga, I don't think wants the Warriors, honestly, I don't think the Warriors want Kuminga. He just doesn't really fit.
I think Steve clearly doesn't. And I would say Steph and Draymond and those guys probably don't.
They're not going to say it publicly, but they're not
Joe
big fans
does.
of him.
I think Joe still likes him.
it's fairly known behind the scenes that he's not everybody's favorite. So,
well, and he's a young player. He's kind of raw. He doesn't particularly play well with Steph. I've heard people say maybe trade him to Sacramento for Keegan Murray. I would do that. I would do that trade too. I like Keegan Murray. He's not as athletic as Jonathan, but he's way more skilled.
Yeah, but a lot of things come down to fit, right? Yeah, better fit. I just, and if you're the Kings, why not take a chance on upside? Because, the Kings, for example, they're just a mess. They're just a mess. They
are.
Every time.
I read today that they're interested in Marcus Smart and somebody else. Double down the line for, looks like could have been a double for Wilmer, but he's molasses slow. Dom Smith goes to third. He slides, and he's safe. And Wilmer does go to second. Giants have second and third.
All right, let's go.
Threatening top 7 with 2 outs against the Dodgers. Looking to put on a couple insurance runs.
You beat Yamamoto tonight.
Yeah.
I know you have Webb and all that kind of stuff, and they're looking good right now. But that offense is so good. If you could extend this thing out to 6-1, where at least even if they load the bases, hit a home run, they grand slam, they don't tie you. That'd be nice. Get a little insurance here, and a little redemption for the pen. After Colorado, get a little redemption for the pen. And this is what's so great about
Casey
Webb.
Schmidt's up. Casey Schmidt, the man of the hour. Is Casey Schmidt going to hit a 3-run home run and have 7 RBIs?
Oh, that thing was just fair. That was awesome. I bet the yard is electric tonight. Like you're looking at, you can rip Dodger fans all you want, and I get it. But there's over 50,000 in that joint tonight, and it's jumping. On a Friday night, it's jumping. With the Giants in town, that's got to be a fun place to play tonight or be tonight.
Though Mary Hart is no longer sitting her seat. She's out of there.
A little too late for Mary Hart.
Yeah,
she's pissed.
It's too late for Mary. She's a senior citizen.
5-1 game, and what time is it? Yeah, a little 9:03. Because anybody who's been to Dodger Stadium, it's why people leave early. That is not an easy place to get in and out of, man.
Oh my God!
So
I went down there. When a number of years ago, I was traveling with the Giants, and they played in Dodger Stadium, and KMBR sent me down. And I said, "Oh, you know what? It'll be easy. I'll stay with my wife's grandparents. They live out in Palos Verdes at the time. So I'm like, they're like, oh yeah, great, that's perfect. We'll cover your expenses, your gas, and this and that. All right, great. So I had the kids, and we went to Disneyland. We're hanging out with Amy's grandparents, and we're having a good time. Dude, Palos Verdes is south of LA,
right?
On the coast, obviously. Dodger Stadium is like north LA. It's like it's like on the way to Thousand Oaks or something. It's like it's way north.
Yep.
And dude, it took me like to get to I'm like, oh, they're like, what time do you want to be at Dodger Stadium? I'm like, well, I want to be there to do some interviews in the afternoon. So like maybe around 2:30, like, oh, well, you should leave at like 11. And I'm like, what? 11?
That's no joke, man.
Are you serious? And I'm like, I can't leave. I'm not going to leave at 11. I'll leave at noon. So I left at noon, and sure enough, man, it took like, I would say 90 minutes on the freeway, going pretty fast to get from Palos Verdes to Dodger Stadium. It's not. I mean, LA is massive.
But the traffic is. By the way, Logan Webb, we're going to the bottom of 7. He's giving up one hit, man.
One hitter.
He's throwing a one hitter. Just letting you know.
One hitter for Logan Webb.
Which when I was young and in high school, a one hitter was a totally different kind of a thing. But a little one hitter here. A little one hitter. Very nice.
Hitter quitter.
Somebody said we got to start drinking again. I don't disagree with that.
Well, let me go get my second beer. Give me 30 seconds. I'm going to go get a second beer.
I'm going to switch with you. You go get your beer now, and I'll go get one because I brought 3 out here from the beer fridge in the garage. And we've drank them all. So when Krueg gets back, I will go back and I'll get a couple more too, and we'll get to it because it's bottom of the pint. And to get to the bottom of the pint, you got to drink pints, and we have not been drinking for a while. But because the last time the Giants got a run, we both chugged a beer. Casey Schmidt had a granny, and we've had no scoring since then. And Casey Schmidt had an opportunity there with second and third, but struck out there. So Logan Webb back out to the mound, 1 run, 1 hit for the Dodgers. That's it. Logan Webb's been awesome. I mean, he's just incredible. And even if it was a different score of the game, the Giants are up 5-1. I mean, the very fact that, think about this. Yesterday you're in Colorado, and the weekend you're in Colorado, and you're using up all your bullpen. You use Rodriguez last night. He throws 43 pitches. You use Walker, you use all these guys. And so the reason that Bob Melvin can do that, he's thinking to himself, okay, well, I got Logan Webb tomorrow. He's going to give me a bunch of innings. We're going to be fine. So Logan's already given him, if he can get through this inning, he'll give him 7. And they didn't use Duvall yesterday, so they can use Duvall tonight. And so they should be fine. They can use Rogers tonight. They can use Duvall tonight. So if they need an 8-9, that's what they can do. They can use Rogers in the 8th. They can use Duvall in the 9th, and they can be fine. So Logan goes after the 7th. Huge inning here, because if he can get through this thing unscathed, as Will Smith leads off the 7th, then the Giants are going to be in good shape. So there you go. And again, 1 game back of the Dodgers going into this series. Should have had the win yesterday. They were 7-2 in Colorado. They blow that thing. But so big game tonight for Logan Webb. Big game for the series. And I did a short on this at John Lund Unleashed. I really think that this is one of the things where Buster Posey, even though we're, 6 weeks away from the trade deadline, this is something where Buster Posey can go to the powers that be. And those who think that Buster has all the power, yeah, he's the president of baseball operations, but he doesn't have the key to the safe. Those are a bunch of guys who I like to say are around this mahogany table. So those are the guys who have the purse strings, and Buster's going to go to him and say, look, man, I know the Dodgers are going to go get a starting pitcher. They need it. To stay in this race, not be a wild card team, to stay in this race, we've got to go get a stick. And a series like this can show the front office, not Buster Posey, but the powers that be who have the pen to the checkbook to say, look, we just took out the Dodgers. We're playing good baseball. We're good.
What I miss?
Fitzgerald catches a liner by Will Smith. So Webb.
Drive to right.
6 1/3.
That's gone.
Oh, really? How far am I behind here?
Somebody just hit one out.
Did they?
Teoscar Hernandez, drive to right, 378. Okay. 378 feet to right. What do you think of the
TV's ahead. My TV's ahead. Okay, 5-2. One out in the
What do you think of the darkening of the stadium, the lights, the darkening?
I think that's pretty cool. I like anything. I like stuff like that.
I kind of like that too.
Yeah, when a dude hits a dinger like that, I like that they do that. Yeah, that's good. I like that they do that. Whatever. So you guys got 2 hits and 2 runs, whatever. But here comes the big pain in the ass, Mac Muncy. So we'll see. So he's kind of teetering here.
Is he wearing
sunglasses?
Got
6 1/3.
Max Muncy is wearing sunglasses at night.
Maybe he's got some eye
Are those
issues.
sunglasses? Dude, it looks like Max Muncy is wearing sunglasses at night.
He's got something going on. Come on, man.
He's got the glasses on. Casey Schmidt. Oh, look at that play down the left field line. Dude, that's worthy. I just got my second pale ale here. Look at
that. Very nice. That's nice.
These are tall boys, too. That was a great catch.
See, that's good. Yeah, get Logan. I was just saying, get Logan through this inning. Rogers can set it up. You didn't use Duvall yesterday. Duvall can close this thing out. And, I think this is a huge series, man. This is the one where Buster can go to the powers that be and say, hey, man, we're legit.
We need Rhys Hoskins.
Yeah, let's go. Let's be aggressive. We're legit. And he can deal with the prospects, what prospects go. But they're going to have to get some okay for money. Like you said, Rhys Hoskins would be perfect because they have a mutual option for next year, which the Giants, if Elders was ready, they decline. He's from Northern California, but he's got his deal is about $18 million. So you'd have to, at the midway point of the season, you're going to pay the guy like $9 million, but they're way under the line. That's the thing. The Giants are under the line. So come on, you're legit.
We got this one from Fuji. He says, Larry, Seeker is still a thing. Have Damon pick up for you. Larry, you just roll up to Costco and be like Henry VIII. Bring me your finest meats and cheeses.
Bring me your finest meats and cheeses. That's classic.
I'll tell you, the only time in my life I've ever felt like Henry VIII is when John and I used to dine with the Niners in the prosciutto room.
Oh, if people could hear those stories.
Oh my God! So there is a room in the basement. And it truly is in the basement of the North Beach restaurant in North Beach. One of the oldest restaurants in the city.
And they have hams like hanging.
No, they're prosciutto.
Prosciutto.
Yeah, it's prosciutto. Yeah, whatever. I mean, is prosciutto and ham similar? I don't know.
But I mean, it's amazing.
They're hanging. First of all, they have a room called the prosciutto room. It has subway tiles, so it almost looks like a bathroom. I mean, to be completely honest, right? Or a subway. And then they've got these prosciuttos that are like drying out, hanging from the ceiling.
Yeah.
And I don't know how long. Probably should type that in and ask that question.
Like how long do they need to dry out, or
how long does it is? How long does prosciutto need to age?
But it's the official kickoff of the season, and what they do is they put us all in there: producers, air talent, higher ups, play by play. Tim Ryan doesn't show up, but Papa does.
Okay, so prosciutto needs to age for a minimum, John, of 400 days, 13 months.
So and can be
and can be aged for up to 36 months.
Oh my God! So yeah, it's all in there, and we have this official kickoff every single year. It's usually, it's right before preseason starts, and it's
summertime.
And it's the most.
It's the only thing that I asked for when I came back to KMBR. They said, do you want anything? I'm like, well, the money, I'm fine with the money. I'm fine with it. I go, the one thing I would like is I would like to be reinvited to the prosciutto room for the Niners thing. And everybody started laughing, and they're like, you're invited. You're invited.
And we've been doing this thing for years, and it's the official kickoff. And what's amazing about it is what people don't understand is it's all served family style, and it's Italian. And there's like 5
just
or 6
kept bringing They kept filling up your wine glass. You took a swig of wine. It's like
the guy's right there.
The guy's right there.
Yeah. And so first of all, you're getting hammered. And then the second thing is they just keep bringing these platters of food. And there's probably, 30 people, 40 people at the table. And they have it all, and you're passing it around and all this kind of stuff. But I mean, it's chicken parm, it's pasta, it's salad, but it comes in different
seafood
waves.
Appetizers and
all these appetizers, and it comes
7
in
courses and
and by the end of it, you're like, you got to be
New
kidding
York
me.
strips.
And like you said, they keep filling the wine, and you're in the bag, and you're kind of like, and then all of a sudden, here comes the dessert, and it's on these platters,
cheesecake,
cheesecake, cannolis, like all these different, like you walk
chocolate
out there,
mousse.
Oh my God, you honestly. Who was the girl who ate the blueberry in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory? Like, you literally have to be rolled.
The
Oompa
Loompa? Is that you're talking about? That?
Yeah, you have to be rolled out of there. It's just, but
it was epic, dude. Epic.
We've done it for years, and it's the official start of 49er season, and it's the director of broadcasting, Bob Sargent, that puts it on, and anybody who's involved with 49ers broadcasting is there. And even the money guys and the big boys are there, the CFO and the whole, and like big time people are there. But Papa's there, you're there, I'm there. Like the producers are there. Like anybody, Murph is there, Mac is there. Like everybody, it's just crazy. It was
amazing.
Time.
It was amazing. And they just keep bringing you this, course after course of this 5-star food. And then
you're so full.
And then all of a sudden, you've had like 9 different drinks and all kinds of things, and all of a sudden they bring you just the most perfect the most perfect New York strip, right. And you're like, normally you'd grab your knife and your fork and you'd be like 3 bites into that thing in a second. It's like you stare at it for like about 90 seconds because you're like, dude, I can't do that.
Right. And that's like your fourth course. And like you said, you're looking around and all this prosciuttos all around you. You're in this chilling room for it. It's a good time.
Oh my God.
It's a really good time.
I remember I had a ride back to the parking lot at KMBR, and I said, I went deep drive to center field, and it's gone.
There we go.
Knizner. Knizner?
The new catcher, whoever he is.
Knizner.
Nice.
No, is it a home run? No, it's a home run. He stopped at third. It's a home run, baby. You keep running.
Not know?
You keep running.
God, he smoked that.
He's dead center. Knizner.
Yeah, that's out. That's definitely out.
Is it Knizner or Knizner?
That's a good question. Yeah, that's out. Yeah, that's definitely out.
Way to go, Knizner.
Why is he well, that's funny. He's like, is it a home run? It's like, dude, you're not going to get tagged out. We're all trying to go, good dude, let's go.
I mean,
That's
look at
hilarious.
This thing. Keep your eye on it. This thing goes way out.
Yeah, it's
look,
way
this
out.
is not even close. Watch this from this angle. Oh no! I thought it went way out. No, it only went out by a foot or two.
But that's a ball. Yeah, that's out. That's definitely.
It was clearly out, but
it's out.
But I thought it went like 10 feet out. No, it went out by 3 feet.
That's gonna feel pretty good, like your first dinger on a team.
Oh, dude,
that's pretty good.
Majors versus the minors, and it's like,
oh yeah, that's way out,
dude. I mean, how great must it be to be a baseball player and to have a game where you hit a home run? Because like for a night, it's like you can go back to the hotel. You just can feel good. Right. It's like you.
Well, remember, Bochy had that rule: if you hit a home run, you were in the lineup the next day, right?
I mean, that's a good rule. I mean, I think Kapler had a rule the opposite. If you hit a home run, you absolutely didn't play the next day. It was like you were benched. I mean, it was fucking close. It was close. He didn't actually, but he was close.
I want to forget about that guy. Seriously,
is there anybody more? Is there anybody? If I say the most annoying people in Bay Area sports history,
that'd be tough.
I would say Gabe Kapler has got to be
pretty close.
He's the manager of the most annoying team in Bay Area sports history.
And even what's even funny is that they won 107 games, and people still
you still can't stand the guy
because he was just so
let me talk
arrogant.
Slowly about an egg sandwich.
I'm so much smarter than you. And I remember going into his office, and he would have the bourbon set up and the whole thing. Like it was almost like it was staged. Like everything he had was all staged in there, like to make it look a certain way. And then he would talk.
I can't. Dude, he did the number one rule I can't stand. Me and Tolbert and Brooks did a regular weekly hit with this joker. And I swear to you, he would say, "That's a great question."
Every time.
About 90% of the time.
Well, remember this first interview
and we weren't we were not in the same studio together. But when I would get that's a good question, I used to throw my arms in the air like I was Joe Montana after a Super Bowl or something. It's like, oh, victory. But he said it every freaking time.
Well, and he's
such a pandering, disingenuous jackass.
Well, because remember all the controversy around him when he came over and he was with the Dodgers and they didn't handle the sexual harassment situation so well, and then
basically he didn't sexually harass anybody, but a player who had a sexual harassment deal,
they kind of buried it.
Went to Kapler and said, "Hey, can you help me?" And Kapler, in his infinite wisdom, decided to get the player and the girl together, which is not what you do. And so obviously that wasn't the right thing. Whatever.
But I remember
people lost their minds over it, though.
Oh my God!
You would have thought he took out a shotgun, gunned 3 people down, and ran out, and they had footage of it. And it's like, dude, he gave somebody some bad advice.
Was just
I know. It's like, shut up.
But it was
seriously.
It was so funny because that whole press conference, I can just remember I was at that press conference, and every other question was, "That's a great question." It was like, dude, stop, stop pandering to us. We're
stop. Stop doing this. Stop patting me on the head.
He was grilling. They were grilling him over that situation, and he kept saying, "That's a great question. That's a great question." I'm thinking, oh my God, this guy. That's when it started.
One time he said, I asked him about the pen, and the pen had sucked, right? And then the Giants won 107 games. But the pen had sucked for a couple of days. And I asked about the pen. I'm like, well, Gabe, are you worried about the pen? He's like, I'm really, really, really glad you asked me about that. And it was such bullshit that I'm like, I actually said, no, you aren't.
You did?
Yeah. I said, no, you aren't.
You're not.
No, you aren't. It's been a rough 3 days for the pen. He's like, no, actually I am, because I'd like to address this head on.
He was a piece of work.
Dude, he was such a dork.
Remember when they went to Mexico City? And I mean, he was doing all the food reviews. It's like, dude, you're the manager of the team. Stop telling me where to go to eat the best Mexican or drink the best Mexican coffee, or like every day he would post like 5 pieces of content. And you're like, aren't you managing a baseball team, or are you on vacation in Mexico City? I can't tell.
NBC Sports Bay Area has a limited budget. So they send them they send like Laura Britt and Pavlovich and any other dullard they can find down to spring training. and they go to a restaurant.
I remember this.
And then they wind up playing this episode for every rain delay. And unfortunately, it rains a lot in April and May. So we wind up seeing this episode like 19 times. And it's like Pavlovich, Britt, and Kapler grading a pork chop. And Kapler's like, and Pavlovich, with all the seriousness, is like, what kind of grade, Gabe, what kind of grade would you give that pork chop? He's like, Alex, I would give that pork chop a 65. I would give it a 65 for flavor. I would give it a 60 for smokiness. I would give it a. It's like, shut up. It's like, can somebody please kick your ass before the next segment? It's like, I cannot listen to that guy. So Kapler is the most annoying guy in Bay Area sports history.
Gotta be.
Who else is on the most annoying list?
By the way, 6-2, and Ohtani's up 2 out. Rogers just gets it done, man. 8th inning, 2 out, 6-2 Giants. Ohtani at the plate.
Most annoying Bay Area sports athletes in history. I'll give you one. And he was annoying for no reason other than he had great shit, but he couldn't get anybody out. Giants had a right-handed pitcher named Brett Tomko.
Oh, of course.
And Brett Tomko threw 95, and he had a killer breaking ball, and he had a pretty good change. He was kind of nasty. And because he was kind of nasty, he got an opportunity on a different team every year. But then he sucked, and he got hit around a lot. So, and he'd been in the league, and he was very durable. So he'd been in the league like 7 or 8 years by the time he got to the Giants. Well, you forget, when a guy has durability, and he's been in the league 7 or 8 years,
the 9th,
and everybody's hitting him well, everybody steps into the box thinking good things, and it becomes kind of like a self-fulfilling prophecy. I kind of felt like Brett Tomko was annoying just because his stuff was awesome, but he always got hit hard.
Yeah, I didn't like him. I mean, obviously, AJ Pierzynski's one.
Pierzynski, I like Pierzynski because Pierzynski
hated him.
Yeah, Pierzynski. So Pierzynski in a spring training game gets hit in the nuts on a foul tip. Stan Conti was the Giants trainer at the time, and he ran out there, and Stan, in kind of a smart-ass voice, said, "How you feeling?" Or how's it feel? And Pierzynski, outraged by that, said, "This is how it feels," and he punched the trainer in the nuts. I'm buddies with Ned Colletti at the time. So I call Ned Colletti, and I don't know anything about this. All I know is that they traded for this catcher. They traded Joe Nathan, Boof Bonzer, Francisco Liriano. They traded kind of a lot to get him. So it's like the second week of spring training. So I go, hey, Ned goes, hey, what's going on? I'm like, hey, how's spring training going? He's going great. I'm like, how's Pierzynski looking? And there's this big pause, long pause. And he goes, let's just say this. We're less than thrilled with the presentation thus far. That's what he said. And I go, whoa, what? What do you mean? What presentation? What are we talking about? He goes, let's just say this. We're less than thrilled with the presentation thus far. He wouldn't tell me anything. And I couldn't. It took me weeks to find out that story that he had punched Conti in the nuts.
I think that annoying. I think Farhan would go into that, even though you and I both had him on a lot. And if you interviewed him,
he was pretty glib.
Like when I was working with Tom, we'd had him on every week, and I didn't mind him. You know, we'd talk everything. We would talk about life. We would talk about fantasy football. We'd talk about baseball. But what happened was people hate a lack of accountability in sports. And what happened was when they got worse, and they got, like, at the beginning, it was kind of funny and his dumb little laugh and his dorkiness and all that kind of stuff. But when it became clear he didn't know what the hell he was doing, and he was, numbers and and all the up and down and churning the bottom of the roster, people just got so sick of it. And then he had the same bit going on, and it wasn't funny anymore. Like the analytics and the dumb laugh and the this and that.
I'm into fantasy football and all that. Yeah,
and all the excuses that he was making and this and that. It wasn't cute anymore. And because we knew, like, dude, you're not the answer. And so at the beginning, people were giving him the benefit of the doubt, but by the end, people thought he was like a secret double agent for the Dodgers. Like he was. People. I'll give you a couple. Got to get rid of that guy.
I'll give you a couple. Devondre Campbell this year.
Oh.
It's like,
yeah,
dude,
that's got to be one of the worst.
Everybody and their brother knew that you were a space holder for Greenlaw. Right. Everybody knew that except for him.
You, clearly.
And he acted and he started getting verbal and aggressive. And, he was screaming a lot of obscenities in the locker room the week before they finally banished him. And it's funny, too. I said on a live stream, I'm like, hey, man, I've been in a lot of locker rooms. I've seen a lot of players. And this is not going to end well. This guy's a placeholder for Greenlaw. Greenlaw's coming back in a few weeks. The Niners are going to have to, I said this on a live stream, the Niners are going to have to take away his key card and drive him off the campus. And literally 10 days later, he imploded and refused to go in and had to be, they had to cut him. So he's one. I'll give you another one. You said accountability's big with fans. I'll give you a guy who had tons of credibility, but very little accountability, and Niners fans roasted him. Mike Singletary.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Mike Singletary kept saying, got to watch the film. Mike, what happened in the third quarter? Got to watch the film. Got to watch the film. Okay, but Mike, I mean, the game just happened.
You were standing on the sidelines. You saw the play.
You called the plays. You designed the defense. This is your team. You're there. What did you think of it? I got to watch the film. It's like, Mike, what were you doing during the game? Are you the coach or are you a vendor? I mean, what are we talking about here?
I hate when coaches say that. Yeah. I really do, because it's like, stop.
It's a cop-out.
That's just an excuse.
It's like I don't have a good enough excuse for our crappy play, so I'm just gonna go with my buzzword of I got to watch the film. Now, if you ask, Mikael Williams,
right,
or Alfred Collins, week 8. Hey, Alfred, what'd you think of the game? What'd you think of your performance? Hey, man, I got to watch the film. That's legit. That's a legit answer. It's not like everybody who says they need to watch the film's full of it. But when you're a coach and it's your plan and it's you're the head coach, you have to have more for the media than,
Yeah, no doubt. I think at the end, Garoppolo graded on people just because everyone thought after he missed Sanders with the throw, and then it was like, okay, he's gone. No, he's not. He's gone. No, he's not. And he kept hanging around. He was like a cockroach, and it was like, is Jimmy, like, we've got to upgrade the position clearly. We're not going to win a Super Bowl with this guy. Like, he went 5-0, then he signs the contract, and everybody loves Jimmy, and everybody thought he was going to get better because he was with the Patriots, and they hadn't really seen it. And then you kind of saw how limited Jimmy was. And the organization, remember, they had an opportunity to get Brady before he went to the Bucs, but they said no to it. And then it became really clear the year after that. It's like, okay, this guy's limited. They need to get better at the position if they're going to win. And so everyone was just like, get rid of this guy. That's what it led to the whole Trey Lance, is because everyone was just like, this is a championship team except for at the most important position on the field. And people at the end got really frustrated with him. I mean, good looking guy, great. Everyone loved like the linebacker mentality and that kind of stuff. But then it became pretty obvious that Jimmy wasn't the brightest bulb in the room.
Right.
He was just holding everybody back. And so everybody was at the end of his tenure was kind of like, get this dude out of here, man. Let's go.
He just was thick. He just wasn't, and I don't mean thick body. I'm talking about just not the smartest guy. Okay, that's a good one. That's a good one. I'm trying to think of another one. I just had it and I just lost it. But Debo. Last year with his, I'm not struggling, I'm just not getting the ball. Right. No, bro, you're struggling.
Then he drops the ball.
Yeah, and they dropped the ball. And
did you see how big he was at camp in Washington?
Oh, dude, you see how slow he looked? And then Kittle's
massive.
We all saw the guy looked slow as hell. And then Kittle's like, what you saw was not slow. It's like, George, you're a loyal guy. You're a good friend. But let's, maybe
that's as big as I've ever seen him. And
let's let Debo fight his own battles.
I mean, look, fans know this too. When Debo's in shape, and I don't know, I think he's a little bit older, and he's got running back, and he's gotten hit a lot of times, and I just think he's like a running back more than a receiver. But when I saw those pictures in the video from camp, it wasn't that he was running half speed, which is what Kittle suggested. Dude, he looks like he's 230. I mean, he is big and thick. And I saw like 5 or 6 different pictures.
Slow, man.
And
he
the
looked
video,
really slow.
Yeah, everybody in Washington who thinks that he is going to be this big part with McLaurin and that whole thing, Washington to me is a team that is poised to take a step back. We'll see. I mean, I like Jaden Daniels. It's just that C.J. Stroud was the same thing, and then he took a step back. They do all this work on you in the offseason, and then you got to take a step up. He's a nice player, but everybody thinks outside of the Bay Area that Debo's going to be the Debo they saw, in 2019 or whatever, or against the Rams in 2021 or whatever. Those pictures are alarming. He looks.
What do you make of the McLaurin rumors? There's a lot of talk that McLaurin wants out. Immediately, people are like, "Yeah, trade him for Ayuk."
You think the Niners want to go through another wide receiver negotiation? They don't.
No, but I mean, I kind of think the 49ers just want to get out from underneath Ayuk, and this would allow them to get 1 year of McLaurin and then just let him walk. Yeah. The other thing is, I kind of think this is kind of a pivotal year for Lynch and Shanahan, and I think I'd like to have a healthy receiver like McLaurin. Plus, I get this vibe, even though Lynch just, talked him up on KMBR. I'm not saying he's pumping and dumping him, but I don't know, man. It just seems like Ayuk's not happy. They don't seem like they're happy with him. Now McLaurin's not happy. We know Jaden Daniels loves Ayuk. Debo loves Ayuk. If I could get McLaurin for Ayuk, I would do it.
I just don't think he's going to play without a new deal. And the Niners just went through this. So any kind of a situation where it's like, wait a minute, we have to do another contract with a disgruntled wide receiver. No, thanks.
You're probably right.
The thing that Lynch said today, if you take him at his word, and you know this as well as I do. So what Kyle does is Kyle's the pessimistic one. Hey, Kyle, how's Ayuk doing? I don't know. We'll see. Hey, John, how's Kyle doing? Oh, or how's Ayuk doing? Oh my God, he's doing great. And he's going to be ready and this and that. So I guess it's probably somewhere in the middle. But if we take John Lynch at his word just for a second here, and let's say he's on the PUP list and misses the first 4 games and, just misses the first month of the season. And today is 7 months. By the way, Ryan Walker's scaring the shit out of me right now, but he just got Freddie Freeman to fly out. So now we got Will Smith at the plate and we got one out. I don't love Ryan Walker on the mound anymore in the 9th, but we'll see. But they got a 4-run lead. But Lynch is overly optimistic, but let's just say for the sake of conversation, today was because you saw this on Instagram, Brandon Ayuk put out a post that said it's 7 months today. So an ACL, he's got a major knee injury here. Maybe that's a 10-month injury. I don't think it's a year injury, but it's a 10-month injury. And we're sitting here 3 months away from the first game of the year. I'm not saying he's going to play the first game of the year, but let's say he plays at the beginning of October. I think they're in okay shape if Brandon Ayuk is there the first part of October.
Depending what he is.
Yeah.
I mean, he should be diminished, right? I mean, he had a major injury.
Yeah. I mean, that's not just an ACL. I mean, he tore the whole thing up. So, but even at that point, that's 11 months. And, guys are coming back from Achilles in a year. So, even though it's a major injury, knee injury, we had heard at first maybe it was going to be like half the season. John Lynch is saying today on the Pat McAfee show that, he's healing a lot faster than they thought. So maybe that's the first month. And if he's out the first month, and the only reason I'm saying this and talking optimistic, my thought is that if they thought it was going to be longer than that, Amari Cooper's sitting out there. Amari Cooper doesn't have any leverage.
How about Keenan Allen?
Right, or one of those two guys. Like
Gabe Davis. I mean, I think you could get Malachi Corley from the Jets for very little.
But that's what I'm saying is there's guys out there, and if they didn't think that he was going to be back, I think, after the first month, I think they'd assign one of those guys. So I think it's a really good sign. And plus what John Lynch said today or yesterday, I think that's a really good sign that Ayuk is coming along faster than maybe we think.
Cowie and Watkins and Garendo, by the way, all 3 of those guys look really good. Fuji Simeon says, hypothetically, what would a Logan Webb trade get the Giants? I don't think the Giants want to move Logan Webb. I think Logan Webb's going to be a Giant for a long time. I don't think I would even – I mean, I think it would get him a good bat. I think it would, but I don't think they want to do it. Chardal's in the house. He said, member for 14 months. What's up, Chardal? He said, hi, Larry and John. I'm a big fan of both of your channels, and you two rock. I would like to be a special guest on your show, and go Giants. Go beat L.A.
I like the sweep. I like the thought on the sweep there. They're 1 out away. It's Teoscar Hernandez and the man on first and Ryan Walker.
Fuji Simeon says, imagine Larry and Kapler as workout buddies. Could you imagine? Could you imagine if we had matching lime headbands and matching
how would he be
pastel wristbands?
Bro, can I work in?
bro, hey man, can I borrow? I like to wear spandex,
so
and I wear a lot of spandex. Ground ball to Casey Schmidt, throws over to second, and like that, Dan Cochimilio jumps in. Danny, what's up? Danny's going to take over here.
Hey, awesome game.
That's a big win.
Big win, Danny.
Over 162, but that's a big win, man.
Huge win.
Yeah,
Huge win. Huge, man. Casey.
One last super here. Fuji says Kapler would be a great SI Wildcat. Fits right in. Stop it.
Hey, all we need is one more. Hey, if we get one more super, then we got.
That's right. We chug for one more super. So I've got a full beer going here.
Throw a chug because I got to go get one, but I'll chug one.
One more super, and we will chug.
Let me go get it because I know someone's going to give us one.
Someone's going to do it. It might be Fuji. Danny, give me your quick thoughts on the game tonight. I mean, exciting game. I thought of you and only you, and the live stream that we did with Casey Schmidt when he golfed that one out to left. I could not be happier for anybody. Casey Schmidt, I think, has got a real opportunity in front of him, and I get the opportunity. I get the feeling he's going to seize that opportunity.
Oh yeah, I think there's no doubt he's he's just playing now. Just play, he's just playing his game, and I think he realizes, hey, look, I got 2-3 weeks, my opportunity to show that I belong as an everyday player, and if he continues to hit, I mean, I think there's a spot for him at second base over Fitzgerald, and you move Fitzgerald to a utility guy. Look, Casey,
how long is Chapman out for, Danny? How long is Chapman going to be out for?
Probably about 2-3 weeks, I think.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
So he's going to get Casey's going to get a full run to get into an offensive rhythm, and then when Chapman comes back, he'll probably need a little rehab. But when he comes back, you're saying maybe Casey moves across the diamond to second or first. John was saying he likes the idea of the Giants maybe trying to go for a trade for Rhys Hoskins middle of the year. What do you think of that?
Yeah, I love Hoskins. I think he's having a great year at first for Milwaukee.
Milwaukee's just got to start sucking. That's the problem is they're playing too well.
I mean, Dom Smith's been a good fill-in. He's been hitting, and I don't know. It's just a strange thing. I mean, the whole thing with Casey, yesterday he got made the error and people were all over him on my show. And I said, look, he made an error. And if you look at the play, and he's not going to make an excuse, but it hit the lip of the grass. His glove was actually, kind of below his waist. As you turn your glove and it hits the thing, you don't have time to flip your glove up this way. You have to keep it that way. So it kind of hit him in the stomach. And, he still should have had it, but people were like, "Oh, he sucks," because
he's a very good defender.
Yeah, I've been telling people, look, the dude was. I mean, the Giants are the one that compared him to Matt Chapman when they drafted him. Okay, they said he's got Matt Chapman like reflexes at third base, and at San Diego State, he was an unbelievable defensive player. He won a Gold Glove in the minor leagues at Eugene for the top third baseman in all of the minor leagues.
He golfed it out too, man. That ball tonight, man. He hit that thing halfway. It was more than halfway up the bleachers.
Yeah. Krueger said, he goes, not too many go up that far. I mean, he hit it. He hit it. And you could tell he was pumped. I mean, that was,
man. Great kid.
Yeah. That was awesome. But
all right. So we got our final couple of supers before we hand it over to Danny. So Fuji Siemens says, cheers, chug away. Justin in the house says, chug for the Giants and Jair Alexander. What happened to Jair Alexander?
They're not getting Jair Alexander.
Okay, there we go.
Another injured guy.
Jamie Alizaga says, cheers, mate. Yeah. And we got this one from Bay Area JJ. He says, what a freaking win. Bounce back. Win the division.
That's what I'm talking about. I like that. I like that optimism, man.
Here we go. And then everybody, here it is. Great night. Good win. We got a great record going. Everybody join Danny and NorCal Sports Network for the postgame show. Danny, who's on the postgame tonight? You got anybody? You got Lou. You got Ned. You got Borna. You got Bora. Who do you got? Nobody, or just you?
We got Casey Schmidt joining us tonight. No,
nice.
No, that would be nice.
Just saw him on the postgame right there.
Yeah, he's on now. Yeah,
get him.
Yeah, I probably, I don't want to bug him when he's in his lot, in the clubhouse and,
hit his first granny.
Yeah, but what a night. So
you have a cell phone though.
Yeah, I do have a cell phone. Yeah, I text.
Get him on the show.
Let's go.
He's got nothing better to do.
It would be nice. It would.
All
be
he can
nice.
do.
This is NorCal Sports Network.
It would be nice.
There's Fox. There's ESPN. There's NorCal Sports Network. I mean, come on, this is a big one.
Yeah, boy, that was awesome though. Yeah, so I'll have Lou will be on, which would be fun.
Nice.
Lou will be going, and I asked Ned, and Ned said he was going on KMBR tonight, so he said that was enough for him. So,
okay. I sent him a text too. I gave him an invite. I didn't hear back.
Yeah.
All right, Danny. Everybody go to NorCal Sports Network. Danny's going to head over there right now. He's getting the spread ready. He's tapping the keg. He's getting the hors d'oeuvres put out in the green room. Lou's going to be absolutely a picture of positivity tonight. He's got nothing but positive takes. But Danny, we'll send him on over. Have a good night.
Thank you. All right, you guys too. Take care.
The great Dan Coach Amelia. John, good stuff, man.
That was fun tonight.
2 hours and 26 minutes. These Friday night, these bottom of the pint is a lengthy endeavor, but it's been good. We have
that's fun, man.
It is fun, and
you're getting Yamamoto versus Webb on a Friday night, and the Dodgers and the Giants are fighting for the NL West. If you'd have told me that when we did that first one, I mean, there's no way I'd have believed you. So this is fun, man.
Almost a little bit over 1,000 people in the room right now. So thank you to everybody who supported the channel. Thanks to Mancini Sleep World. Thanks to Pig and a Pickle. Thanks to John. Give John's channel a like and subscribe. It's John Lund Unleashed. He's just starting it, but he's got a lot of momentum. He does some great stuff. John Lund Unleashed. Give him a like and subscribe. Like and subscribe over here as well. Everybody have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow on these. I was going to say on The Sports Leader, but it's not The Sports Leader. It's The YouTube Leader.
Yeah.
This is what happens when I throw a few beers back.
Yeah, it's all right, man.
I'm all over the place. I'm a circus. Good night, everybody.
Yeah, never met a man I've been scared.